Arcana Rising has you and up to 5 players playing as wizards and, doing wizard stuff. But is it good? Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner with my good friend Ronnie. And we're checking out Arcana Rising from Gray Fox Games. This is for 1 to 6 players. Take 30 to 60 minutes. This is for ages 14 plus. And in Arcana Rising, this is a really, really simple game where you're going to start off with a board like this that's got 5 different little things right here. And then this is a drafting game. So you're going to have 6 cards in your hand, and you're going to take a card from your hand, and you can do one of 2 things with that card. You can either pay the cost on the card and put it underneath the little slot right here, which now means that your green slot, or whatever slot, is now a little bit better, and you can stack a whole bunch of cards down here. Or you can set it to the left side of your board and discard it, and then you can trigger whatever poker chips there are on the table. So each round there's going to be 2 poker chips. It'll be right here. So if this were the 6th round and you triggered this, it would be blue and green. So pretty much you can either take a card and trigger whatever's on here, or you can take a card, you can slide it down here, and you do that 18 times, and that's pretty much the whole game. So Ronnie played this tonight for the first time, 3 players. I have played it now, I think, 3 times, once solo, once 2 players, and now 3 players. I also want to give a shout out to the solo mode, which has a a 7 Wonders duel-esque thing where you actually set the cards up in a pyramid. It actually works really, really well. But Arcana Rising, first impressions, what do you think of this one?
I'm a little bit biased against drafting games. I'm not that big of a fan. I would definitely try it. I've only played it the one time. I would try it again, but I'm a little iffy on the game, is my personal feelings. But like I said, I'm also biased, so I don't know.
So you don't think this stands out amongst other drafting games you play?
I can't really think of a drafting game I like.
Oh, okay. So you're just pre-inclined to probably dislike this one.
Yeah, I'm pre-inclined to not like it.
Okay. I do like drafting games, and I really enjoy this game for what it is. And I was talking to Alan. Alan liked this a lot as well. Adam, who's a regular, likes this one as well. And it fits kind of that Splendor/Century Spice Road itch for me. Not in the fact that I think the gameplay is necessarily the same, but it's the same basic premise of you're going to get a bunch of materials here, and then you're going to convert them to this material here, and then you're going to do this here. And I really enjoy this game. It's really easy to learn. It's really easy to teach. The components, though, aside from the cards, the components are nice. The cards are terrible. They feel like if you ever went to the dollar store, you ever been to the dollar store? They have versions of Monopoly and games you can actually buy at the dollar store. Mm-hmm. That's like the thickness of these cards. I feel like that's fair.
Or like those really cheap playing cards.
Yes, these are.
Again.
Now, granted, you're only going to shuffle these cards once per game, so it's not a huge deal, but it is something I did want to mention, because if I didn't, someone would be blasting me in the comments for that. Other than that, though, I didn't really have an issue with the components, and I enjoyed the game for what it is. It's 30 to 60 minutes also seems a lot. This played way quicker than that, and this was our first time playing.
It seemed pretty quick.
I think we were about 35 to 40 minutes with 2 new players, and I will say, downside, game to game to game, this is going to be a very samey game.
Yeah.
The cards are interesting. They do some unique things, but I didn't feel like most of them were like, whoa, that blew my mind. And most of the time, I feel like you've played through this once or twice, you're going to see every card in the game. So I definitely think some more cards eventually in the future could make this game better. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good for what it tried to do. Obviously, you disagree because you don't like drafting games?
I mean, I would try it again. It was hard for me to really form a good opinion on the first play for this one for me.
Yeah, and that is also a point that Alan brought up, and also something that I brought up. I kind of felt like I was just doing stuff randomly at some points.
Yeah, I felt like that too.
Because part of the beauty of the game is you only have 2 actions to choose from, but that's also part of the downside too, because if you get a hand, you're like, these cards kind of suck, and you look at the board and you're like, these kind of suck. I could see that. Overall, though, I still think it's a pretty dang good game, and I'm going to keep it. I enjoyed it solo. I enjoyed it at 2 players. It goes up to 6 players. It has a lot of things that I like around the game, and I think as a filler-weight game, I think I am going to keep this one. I think an expansion could definitely go a long way with this game. One con that I do want to mention, the rule booklet annoys me a little bit. It's not a bad rule booklet per se, but they include these little cool cards right here. Ronnie, would you like to know how to play with these cards?
Yeah, I would, actually.
Well, you can go on Board Game Geek, and there's a thread that talks about these cards. It doesn't tell you how you play with the cards, and the rule booklet also doesn't tell you how you play with the cards. The cards kind of, yeah. So it's like, if you put things in the box, you should probably let me know how to play with them. That's annoying. You'll probably make up your own house rules or whatever. But in the end, I like this one. I'm excited to play this one more. I'm going to keep it for now. And if I was going to give it to you, would you want it?
Probably not.
Yeah. Then you've never played any drafting games you liked?
No.
Wow, that's nuts. Okay. Arcana, it's just a genre I love so much. And I was like, I want to play some with you just so you can even hate them and then I can be disappointed. But Arcana Rising from Gray Fox Games, bottom line is, if you do like drafting games and if you like games in that same ilk, that 30 to 45 minute Century Spice Road, Splendor-S type thing, I think this will definitely fit into your wheelhouse. The artwork is well done, even though it's generic, it just kind of blends in with everything else. But yeah, I still think this is a rock solid game. And Adam, he's normally on the show. He's not this time. He enjoyed it a lot as well. Ronnie, not a drafting fan, but you want to try it again?
Yeah, I would try it again, because like I said, I don't think I could get that good of a feel for the game from the one playthrough. I feel like I learned some stuff.
Okay.
Because I thought I was doing good in my first playthrough, and then I got last place.
Well, I also had like a stupid combo, and that's one of the things I actually like about this game. If you get certain combos of cards, you can just absolutely go crazy, and I kind of did. But yeah, Arcana Rising for Gray Fox Games. Do I think it's going to be anybody's favorite game of all time? No. But do I think it's good enough to be in your collection? Yeah, if you like drafting games and you're looking for about a 30 to 40 minute game, goes up to 6 players, I definitely think this one could scratch that itch. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. As I'm trying to reach 15,000 subscribers, I should probably think of a reason why. I'm just trying to, because it's awesome. And in the comments below, let me know. Make up a more generic sounding game than Arcana Rising right now. Rename this, but make it more generic sounding. I challenge you.
Fun game.
No. Like, actually try and make this a thematic game. Like, actually, pretend that you're the designer of this game, and you're trying to name it
Magic Upcoming.
Magic Upcoming. That's very generic as well. Ooh. Transmutation.
That actually sounds like a good game. I'd play that.
Okay. Well, I thought it was very generic. Let me know in the comments below, and it's always thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.